Part 65. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 641. Chapter 641. The man beside him didn't react at all. The young master dotes on the young lady too much. Everyone who goes downstairs is carried down. I never expected that a man like the young master, who usually seems to be a stoic, could be so doting on the woman he likes. Finding a husband like this is much better than men with rich love histories. Mo Yesi, please put me down. Chiao Mian looked at the maids covering their mouths and snickering. Her face was a little hot, and she wanted to jump off. Mo Yesi, I can walk by myself, please let me down. Mo Yesi ignored her at all and carried her directly into the restaurant. After arriving at the restaurant, he didn't let go of his hand and sat down with her while holding her in his arms. There is a rich breakfast on the table. He picked up the warm milk and fed it to Chiao Mian's mouth. There were also several maids standing in the dining room. Even though this was not the first time that I saw their young master feeding his young wife, I still felt extremely envious. Young master is really good at caring for people. When you really like someone, you can love that person to heaven. Had he not seen it with his own eyes, who would have believed that the young master who always stayed away from women would be so kind to a woman? I'll do it myself. Chiao Mian felt embarrassed and reached for the cup. Mo Yesi curled his lips and said calmly, baby, do you want to drink it yourself, or should I feed it to you in another way? If you like mouth to mouth, I'm quite happy with it. Chiao Mian, I drink it myself. Asterisk. Chiao Mian herself didn't do much with this breakfast. Basically, it was Mo Yesi who fed her. After breakfast, Linda called and told her that her assistant was found. At that time, I will meet her at the airport. Linda gave her the photo and contact information of her assistant. She was a cute-looking girl named Nana, who was 2 years older than Chiao Mian. Chiao Mian called Nana first. Nana's voice looked the same as hers, and it sounded like a cute tone. The two chatted for a few minutes before Chiao Mian hung up the phone. Sister Xie found me an assistant. As a young actor who has always been a small actor, Chiao Mian has no extravagant expectations of being an assistant. Her little salary is not enough to support herself. Wherever you have money, you can hire an assistant. Suddenly she had an assistant, and she was a little excited. She immediately shared her joy with Mo Yesi. I never thought that I would have an assistant. I just called my assistant. She is super cute, her voice is so sweet, and she looks so good. Very sweet. As she spoke, she opened her phone and showed Nana's photo to Mo Yesi. Look, this is my assistant. Her name is Nana. Isn't she super cute? Her eyes are so big and round. The nose is small and the mouth is small. She is 2 years older than me, but I think she looks younger than me, with a baby face. With such good looks, I can join the entertainment industry. It's a pity to be an assistant. She spoke enthusiastically. After finishing speaking, he saw that the man beside him had no reaction at all. Chiao Mian. She frowned, reached out and poked the arm of the man next to her, and said dissatisfied, why don't you speak? I just told you so much, didn't you hear? When sharing joy, the other party did not respond. This will make her feel very boring. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 642. Chapter 642. I don't want to look at other women, I just want to look at you. Mo Yesi lowered his eyes and looked at her. I heard everything. Congratulations, you have an assistant. Chiao Mian. Is this his reaction? Have you seen it just now? What are you looking at? My assistant. Chiao Mian held the phone in front of his eyes again and shook it, then pointed at the screen and said, this girl is my assistant Nana. How about it? Isn't she cute? Chiao Mian really thinks Nana is cute. Nana looks like a little loli, with a slightly round face and dimples when she smiles. Very cute. If she were a boy, she would definitely like a girl like Nana. Just looking at it will make people feel protective. Mo Yesi has no interest in any woman except Chiao Mian, let alone paying attention to her. In order not to disappoint her, he still glanced cooperatively. How is it, isn't it cute? Chiao Mian asked him immediately. Mo Yesi. He was secretly thinking, could this be a test for him from his wife? Want to test whether he is interested in other women? After thinking about it like this, he immediately replied, it's very ordinary, not as cute as my wife. He really thought so in his heart. In his eyes, his wife is the cutest in the world. No one can compare. Whether other women are sexy, cute, or pure, it has nothing to do with him. Chiao Mian. What's your look? She looked at him with a bit of contempt. She's obviously very cute, shouldn't this kind of girl be your favorite among straight men? Do you really think she's average? No matter how good looking you are, come on. Straight man, Mo Yesi was a little unfamiliar with this ranking. Chiao Mian, it means a normal boy. Mo Yesi nodded, expressing his understanding, then maybe I'm not normal. Chiao Mian. Mo Yesi looked at her with his deep black eyes and said seriously, no matter how many times I look at you, it's still the same. She's not as good looking as my wife. I don't know what type of straight man I like. I only know that you are my type. He looked very serious when he said this. When those ink-stained eyes stared at her intently, Chiao Mian's heart beat wildly. Accidentally, she was flirted with again. I don't want to look at other women, I just want to look at you. The man continued to flirt with her. My wife is the most beautiful woman in the world. Mo Yesi, can you? Chiao Mian's face started to heat up a little, and her fair face was stained with a light scarlet color. Don't praise me so exaggeratedly. Where is the exaggeration? You just. She pursed her lips and felt embarrassed to repeat the words she praised herself for. You said something like the most beautiful thing in the world. It's not an exaggeration, Mo Yesi said seriously, in my eyes, you are the most beautiful woman in the world. Chiao Mian. Damn it, my heartbeat is increasing rapidly again. He really didn't mean it? Ahem, okay. Chiao Mian reached out and touched her hot cheek, biting the corner of her lip and said in a low voice, you can say that in private, but in the future, you must never say that in front of outsiders. Why? Mo Yesi raised his eyebrows, is there anything you can't say? Chiao Mian, low-key, do you understand? End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 643. Chapter 643. I don't want to be low-key at all. But. The man suddenly came closer, his handsome and deep face magnified several times in front of her eyes, his slender fingers pinched her chin, his thin crimson lips pressed against the corner of her lips, and he said in a low voice, my wife is so good, why should I want to be low-key? In my eyes, my wife is the most beautiful woman in the world. I can't wait to let everyone in the world know about it. Why should I keep a low profile, baby? I don't want to keep a low profile at all. If she hadn't been unwilling to make their relationship public now. He had already announced to the whole world that they were married. This way, he doesn't have to worry about other men trying to get her attention. He wished he could immediately put a label with the words Mo Yesi's wife on her body and put it in the most conspicuous place so that people could see it at a glance. Chiao Mian's face was filled with heat. Mo Yesi. She was so shy after being praised by this man. Ah, why does she have such a flirtatious husband? How does it feel to be teased by your husband every day so that your heart beats abnormally? Asterisk. To the airport. The black Rolls-Royce stopped outside the airport gate. Uncle Lee got out of the car first, walked to the back compartment and opened the door, then went to the trunk and took out the 2 suitcases. Mo Yesi and Xiao Mian also got out of the car. As soon as they got off the car, Mo Yesi put his arms around Xiao Mian's waist, and wrapped his strong and slender arms possessively around her waist. As soon as the two appeared, they attracted a lot of attention. The good-looking combination of handsome men and beautiful women is eye-catching wherever they go. Mo Yesi walked into the hall with Xiao Mian in his arms. Thinking of the upcoming separation, he felt reluctant and worried. As he walked, he told her, "I checked the weather over there in advance. It's raining today and the temperature is a bit cold low. Put on a coat before you get off the plane. If you don't feel comfortable when you get there, tell me and don't hold on. If you are not used to the accommodation and food of the crew, please tell me so that I can help you make arrangements as soon as possible. Also, since you are a newcomer, it is inevitable that there will be 1 or 2 new people on the crew. If you encounter them, just tell me who they are and I will help you deal with it. If you encounter any emergency and I can't rush over to deal with it, you go find Bai Yusheng." Hearing this, Xiao Mian looked at him in surprise. "You, no director Bai." Mo Yesi didn't want her to think too much, so he lied, "Yan Er's friend, I don't know him very well." If she knew that he knew Bai Yusheng and had a conversation with Bai Yusheng because of her role, she would definitely be unhappy. In fact, she earned that role by herself. Bai Yusheng is very satisfied with her. Even without him saying hello in advance, Bai Yusheng would still use her. He has a good relationship with Yan Er. I will ask Yan Er to say hello to him and ask him to take care of you more. As for the last audition, have you ever? No. Mo Yesi lied with a straight face, "I believe in your ability. You earned your role on your own and it has nothing to do with me." Xiao Mian breathed a sigh of relief. Okay. It's not that she's being pretentious. Having resources available is of course a good thing. She can save a lot of worry and avoid many detours. However, she still hopes that this role can be won by herself. In this way, she will be more confident. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 644. Chapter 644. I don't feel at ease at all. It's not that she's being pretentious. Having resources available is of course a good thing. She can save a lot of worry and avoid many detours. However, she still hopes that this role can be won by herself. In this way, she will be more confident. Have you remembered what I just said? Mo Yesi didn't feel at ease at all. This is not the first time that he and Xiao Mian have separated. She used to live at the school and only came home to live on weekends. The two of them were usually separated. But at that time, he was not so worried. Even though they were separated at that time, they were still in the same city. Not far apart. If you want to see her, you can see her every day. If something happens to her, he can rush to her side as soon as possible to help her solve it. If she goes to another city, it's not that far away. It takes 3 hours to fly. However, it is not that easy for him to see her. If something happens to her, he can't rush to her immediately. This anxiety of not being able to see each other every day and not being able to feel her side immediately made him very worried about her. Can she get used to the weather and environment when she goes to another place alone? She didn't know anyone in the crew, and she was a relatively unknown newcomer, but with such an eye-catching appearance, she might have been hated by others. At that time, will anyone bully her? The more he thought about it, the more uneasy he felt, and he wanted to pack his luggage and go with her immediately. But his sanity still exists. If he hadn't just taken over the Mo family, and many things still needed to be handled by him personally, and he couldn't leave. He might have gone with her. She is really not easy to worry about at all. From this moment on, he has to worry until she finishes filming the TV series. Chiao Mian was looking at her phone and answered a little absently, "Well, I understand." Mo Yesi was very dissatisfied with this. He reached out and snatched her cell phone away. "Chiao Mian, what are you doing? Give me your phone back." She was about to call Nana. Mo Yesi stopped and locked her phone, then lowered his head and looked at her with half-lidded eyes. "Baby, did you hear clearly what I just said to you? Is mobile phone so fun? We'll be together soon, we're about to separate, shouldn't you look at me more?" His words were a bit sour, as if he was jealous. But, he's even jealous of his cell phone. "I wasn't playing with my phone," Chiao Mian explained seriously. "I was sending a WeChat message to Nana just now, asking where she was. But she didn't reply to my WeChat message, so I was about to call her. The phone was taken away by you. Why are you so anxious?" Mo Yesi still had a bit of dissatisfaction on his face. "She can't run away, so it's okay if you contact her later. Do you really remember clearly what I just said to you? Remember it clearly, remember it clearly, I'm listening to it." Chiao Mian never thought that Mo Yesi would be so verbose. In one sentence, I repeated the question several times. She couldn't help but muttered in a low voice, "Oh, it's so long-winded." Mo Yesi heard the sentence word for word. He was actually disliked by his wife for being verbose. For the first time in his life, someone said he was long-winded. This person is still his wife. For a moment, his mood was a bit indescribable. But even if you are disliked, what can you do? This person is his wife. Can he still grab her and beat her? End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 645. Chapter 645. I have too many things to worry about. Baby, I don't worry about you. Mo Yesi sighed lowly, stretched out his hand to hold her in his arms. His big hand fell on the top of her head and caressed her gently, with undisguised worry in his words. "Don't blame you, husband. This is your first trip away from home after we got married, and you will be away from me for several months. I don't trust you at all. I'm afraid that you won't be able to take care of yourself without me by your side. I'm also afraid that when I'm not with you, you will be wronged and bullied. I have too many things to worry about. So, I want you to promise me. If someone dares to bully you and make you suffer, you must not bear it alone. Or if something happened, you can't hide it from me. I want you to promise me that you won't hide anything from me." Chiao Mian lay on his chest, listening to his heartbeat beating again and again, vibrating his chest steadily and powerfully. He is still chattering. This is really different from the usual Mo Yesi. He has never been so verbose. His abnormality is just because he is worried about her and does not trust her. Chiao Mian couldn't tell how she felt in her heart. She put her hands around the man's thin waist little by little, and her eyes suddenly felt a little moist. She didn't feel much at all when filming in other places. The only person who is reluctant to part with him is Chiao Chen. As for Suzy, she didn't seem to be as reluctant to leave as she is now. "Even if we meet again after being apart for a while, I don't feel very happy or looking forward to it," she suddenly realized. Perhaps she didn't like Suzy very much before. Of course I like her a little bit, but not very deeply. That's why Suzy was able to quickly get over the hurt after he cheated on her. If she loved Suzy deeply, how could she fall in love with another man so quickly? She and Mo Yesi have not known each other for a long time. But unconsciously, this man had occupied a place in her heart and became a part of her life. She has begun to be reluctant to separate from him. "Yes, Mo Yesi, I promise you." Chiao Mian listened to his heartbeat, tightened her arms, hugged him tighter, and replied obediently, I will take good care of myself and will not let myself suffer. Even if I feel wronged, I won't let others bully me. I promise you, I will be fine these few months. Don't worry, I've been filming in other places before. I'm not a child anymore, I won't let myself have a bad time. Besides, didn't you say you would say hello to Director Bai? With Director Bai protecting me, what can happen to me? After I pass, I will video report the situation to you every day, okay? That will put your mind at ease. With Bai Yusheng taking care of you, I can really feel relieved. Mo Yesi also tightened his arms, trying to embed the delicate little person in his arms into his bones and blood, so that he could take her with him wherever he went. They don't need to be separated anymore. Anyway, you don't have to worry about troublesome him. He still owes Yan Er a favor. If you have something to do, go to him directly. He won't dare not solve it for you. Of course, if anything happens, you still have to find your husband as soon as possible. I can't rush over to help you solve it right away, so you can find him again. Remembering how Chiao Mian praised Bai Yusheng's talent last time and seemed to admire him quite a lot, Mo Yesi didn't want the two of them to have too much contact. Mo Yesi, I want to be with my wife every day. My wife is the cutest, the most beautiful, and the best wife in the world. Today is Valentine's Day, haha. I wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day. With the sweetness and love of a lover, if you don't have a lover, you can still be happy alone. Congratulations to 17780, Nanzi, and hide for your reward. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 646. Chapter 646 I can't be behind your career. Chiao Mian laughed softly, knowing that a jealous person was jealous again. I will go over to see you on the weekend and I will take you out to eat delicious food and have fun. Good. She nodded obediently and agreed to whatever he said. Looking at her well-behaved look, Mo Yesi was even more reluctant to let her go. His baby is so well-behaved and has a soft personality. He is really worried that she will be bullied by others when he is not around. He even had an impulsive idea. I want Bai Yusheng to change the filming base to Yuncheng. But this is obviously unrealistic. That guy Bai Yusheng has very picky and high requirements for every one of his works. If he were asked to change the shooting location, he would definitely not be willing to do so. But, that guy has nothing to do with him. He cannot force him. I will try to take as much time as possible to go see you. Mo Yesi reached out and touched her head, with reluctance in his deep eyes, and sighed softly, I don't want to let you go. Want to lock her next to him and see her at all times. In fact, he really wanted to ask her if she could stop filming. How much is her salary for filming a movie? He can give her double, triple, quadruple. She can have as much or as little as she wants. But he knew that she was not just filming to make money, she also really liked the profession of acting. These are things that cannot be solved by giving him money. He cannot deprive her of her hobbies because of his own selfishness. Chiao Mian couldn't bear to leave him either. She hugged him and rubbed her head gently on his chest. Actually, I don't want to leave either, but I don't want to be a person sitting at home doing nothing. I also want to go out to work. Mo Yesi, do you mind my work? Because her future life situation may often be like this. Once her work gets busy, she will fly all over the world. The time spent at home will be very little. The time spent with him will naturally be very little. She may not be able to give him a normal family. Mo Yesi was silent for a moment, gently rubbed the top of her hair with his big hand, and said honestly, If you say you don't mind at all, that's impossible. If you film a drama, we will be separated for several months, how could I not mind? Chiao Mian felt a thump in her heart, raised her head, and looked at him nervously. Then you. She was afraid that he would tell her to quit the entertainment industry. She knew that the more prominent a family was, the more they looked down on their profession. Even if today's artists are very profitable and can become first-tier or above-tier artists, their annual income is over 100 million, which is no worse than the income of some ordinary wealthy families. However, in the eyes of the upper class, no matter how much money an artist makes, he will not be able to make it. An actor on stage. It is for people's enjoyment. Even ordinary wealthy families are not very willing to marry artists. After all, it is very common for uncles and nephews to sleep with a female artist, and marrying her home will inevitably make people laugh. Let alone a top wealthy family. It is impossible for a top wealthy family like the Mo family to not care about her career. I will mind, but I will choose to respect you. Mo Yesi looked at her with his deep eyes and said seriously, if filming makes you happy, I won't stop you. I will do my best to treat you, protect and clear all obstacles in your way. But, you have to promise me one thing. What? You can't put filming more important than me, the man said word by word. I can't put it behind your career. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 647. Chapter 647. Don't have scandals with actors. Chiao Mian didn't expect that she would make such a request. She pursed her lips, suppressed a smile and nodded, okay, I promise you. Except for the time you work, you have to leave all the remaining time to me. Good. You are not allowed to have an affair with an actor, and you are not allowed to be interested in any man other than me. Good. In fact, Chiao Mian really wanted to say that scandals and the like were beyond her control. Sometimes, artists themselves don't want to cause any scandal. However, if media reporters insist on making some so-called scandals to gain traffic, they have nothing to do. However, she is not famous now, and there will definitely be no scandals. No one is paying attention to the scandals about her. Journalists are not that stupid. The two hugged each other and talked for a while in the lobby. As the boarding time approached, Chiao Mian had not yet joined Nana, so she called Nana. Just as soon as it rang, the call was connected over there. A voice that sounded very sounded, Sister Mian, I seem to have seen you. Are you, wearing a white t-shirt with a bear on it and a pair of light blue denim shorts, and there is someone standing next to you? A very tall man. Chiao Mian, yes. Nana, where are you? Sister Mian, I'm right behind you. The phone was hung up. Chiao Mian turned around and saw a girl wearing a tee, a pair of white sneakers, a backpack, and her hair tied into a ponytail. The girl looks almost the same as in the photo, and she is even prettier in person than in the photo. Chiao Mian recognized it at a glance. Nana. Nana's eyes lit up the moment Chiao Mian turned around. When she looked at her, her eyes were a little straight, and she couldn't help exclaiming, wow, Sister Mian, you are so beautiful. Chiao Mian is one of those people who looks better in person than in photos. If we say she is at the level of a fairy in the photo, then she herself is a fairy among fairies. Even though Nana is a girl, she was a little surprised. She had seen Chiao Mian's photos. When she knew that she was going to be Chiao Mian's assistant, she had fully understood Chiao Mian. When she looked at the photos, she felt very beautiful. She didn't expect that Chiao Mian would look much better in person than in the photos. No wonder Sister Xie takes such good care of this newcomer. She repeatedly told her to take good care of Chiao Mian. With such good appearance conditions, it will definitely become popular in the future. Chiao Mian was a little embarrassed by such a straightforward way of complimenting her, so she praised back, "Thank you, you are also very beautiful." "Where is it?" Nana shook her head and said, "Sister Mian, you are really good looking, I am just not ugly at best." "Who said that? I think you are beautiful." "Compared to Sister Mian, I am an ugly duckling." "You are a super beauty. Really, you are definitely the most beautiful one I have ever seen since I was a child. Wow, I can work with a beauty like Sister Mian in the future. I feel so happy just thinking about it." "Don't be modest, you are so beautiful, how can you be an ugly duckling? I will be very happy to work with such a cute and beautiful girl like you in the future." The two of them started to compliment each other on business. Moyesi on the side. Seeing the two of them complimenting each other back and forth, seemingly unable to stop, Moyesi stepped forward to stop the two from continuing to compliment each other. Mian, it's time to change your boarding pass." End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 648. Chapter 648, My boyfriend is so handsome, who would want to break up with him? Ah, yes. After Moyesi reminded her, Chiao Mian looked at the time and then remembered that her boarding pass had not been changed yet. She took out her ID and was about to go over to change it when she heard Moyesi say, "Give me your ID and I'll change it for you." Oh. Chiao Mian gave him the certificate. Moyesi took it, reached out to touch her head, and whispered, "Wait for me here, don't run around." Yet Chiao Mian nodded. "Wait until Moyesi leaves?" Nana couldn't hold back the gossip in her body, so she immediately grabbed Chiao Mian's hand and asked excitedly, "Sister Mian, is he your boyfriend?" Chiao Mian didn't hide this matter from Linda, and naturally she wouldn't hide it from Nana either. Nana is her assistant, and the two of them will spend a lot of time together in the future. Even if she didn't say it, Nana could tell it herself. Yes, she nodded, "He is my boyfriend." Wow, Nana's face turned red with excitement. She turned her head and looked at Moyesi, who had walked away. She stared at the slender back and said excitedly, "Sister Mian, your boyfriend is so handsome, handsome. God, I swear, he is definitely the most handsome guy I have ever seen." "Sister Mian, is he also a contracted artist of the company?" Chiao Mian, no. No, Nana was stunned for a moment, and then asked in a gossipy tone, "Then is he a signed artist from another company?" "Nor." Seeing that she wanted to continue gossiping, Chiao Mian rubbed her forehead in amusement, "He is not an artist. He is not in the same circle as us." "What?" Nana looked in disbelief. "He's not an artist? He looks like this, doesn't he want to be in the entertainment industry?" Chiao Mian shook his head, "He has no such plan." "That's such a pity. I can guarantee that if he wants to join the entertainment industry, he will definitely become popular with that face." "Sister Mian, I understand why you would rather miss a contract signing opportunity than broke up with your boyfriend." "Chiao Mian, why?" Nana's eyes were bright, "My boyfriend is so handsome, who would want to break up with me? If I lose an opportunity to sign a contract, there will be another one in the future. If we break up with such a handsome boyfriend, we will never find him again." Chiao Mian. She suddenly discovered that Nana, like Zhang Luli, was also a pretty girl. Asterisk. Not long after changing the boarding pass, it was time to check in. Moyesi accompanied Chiao Mian to the ticket gate. When he looked down at her, the reluctance in his eyes became stronger. He reached out to smooth the hair on her forehead, gently hugged her into his arms, lowered his head and kissed her gently on the forehead. "Baby, take care of yourself, don't let me worry about you." As the parting approached, the reluctance in Chiao Mian's heart became stronger and stronger. She put her arms around his waist and put her face against his chest. You should also take care of yourself. Okay, call me as soon as you land. Wear more clothes before you get off the plane, it's cold out there, so don't catch a cold. You can call me anytime you want, my phone is on 24 hours a day. Also remember, you have a husband, don't go around flirting with young girls. Baby, I will miss you every day, and you must miss me every day. Okay, let's check in. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 649. Chapter 649. He is saying, "Baby, I love you." The man held her face, pecked her lips gently, and then reluctantly let go of her. When Xiao Mian walked to Nana, Nana said with envy, "Wow, Sister Mian, you and your boyfriend have a good relationship. It can be seen that your boyfriend loves you very much. There is someone so handsome and loving you so much, your boyfriend, you are so happy." Mo Yesi was still standing there. Xiao Mian turned back and looked at him. In the huge hall, people were coming and going. But he is the most eye-catching one. Everyone passing by him, whether male or female, would glance at him. Everyone around him was looking at him, but there was only her in his eyes. Seeing her turn her head, he curled up the corners of his lips, waved to her, and moved his lips accordingly. From a distance, Xiao Mian couldn't hear clearly what he was saying. However, she understood the shape of his lips. He is saying, "Baby, I love you." At this moment, Xiao Mian's eyes suddenly became moist. I really feel the reluctance of separation. She had the urge to turn around and run back to him. "Sister Mian, are you crying?" Nana saw Xiao Mian's eyes were red, and turned her head to look at Mo Yesi, who was still standing there, and then asked in a low voice, "Are you reluctant to let go of your boyfriend? It seems that he also hates you. You guys have a really good relationship, I envy you so much. Sister Mian, is this the first time you have separated from your boyfriend?" "No." Xiao Mian sniffed and pushed back the tears in the corners of her eyes. "We were separated before, but I didn't go out of town at that time. Moreover, they won't be separated for as long as 3 months. No wonder." Nana expressed understanding, "but F City is not very far from Yunchinj. He can go there to see you. Is your boyfriend at work?" Then he can visit you on weekends. In this case, you can meet every week. Well, his income should be enough, right?" Xiao Mian, "Well, it's not bad. That's no problem, I can afford the weekly air tickets." Xiao Mian, "Mo Yesi's income is more than enough to afford weekly air tickets. He can afford even the daily air ticket." "Sister Mian, what does your boyfriend do?" Nana was a curious baby and kept asking, did he start his own company or work for someone else? He should be the boss of his own company, right? I don't think he has the temperament to work for others. "Well, he started a small company." "Small company?" Nana was stunned for a moment, then frowned and said, "I don't think your boyfriend's temperament and aura are like someone who runs a small company." Xiao Mian was amused by her words and couldn't help but ask, "What does that look like?" "It feels like the kind of super-rich domineering president." Nana thought for a moment and replied seriously, "For example, the heir to a large conglomerate or something. The kind played in idol dramas, from a large conglomerate's family." "Young master." Seeing Xiao Mian smiling, she emphasized again seriously, "Really, it's very similar. Is it possible that he is actually a wealthy young master or something, and in order to find true love, he has been hiding his true identity from you? I told you that he runs a small company." This time, Chiao Mian really couldn't hold back her laughter. Nana, do you usually like to read novels about overbearing presidents? End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 650. Chapter 650, Your boyfriend must love you terribly. This imagination is too rich. Well, just watch it when you're bored. Nana scratched her hair in embarrassment, but, Sister Mian, I really don't think your boyfriend is like the boss of a small company. Anyway, the first time I saw him at first glance, I felt that he had an aura that was different from ordinary people. For this point, Chiao Mian remained silent and did not deny it. Mo yes, he does have a temperament that is different from ordinary people. It was grown up in an environment with extremely favorable conditions since childhood and was slowly cultivated. Ordinary families cannot cultivate such a temperament. No wonder Nana thought he was a rich young man hiding his identity. Wow, Sister Mian, your boyfriend hasn't left yet. Nana looked at Mo Yesi, who was still standing there, and couldn't help but sigh. He has been looking at you, his eyes are so focused. I haven't seen anyone except you. He's seen other people's. Your boyfriend must be in love with you. Chiao Mian turned around and saw Mo Yesi standing straight there, looking at her. We are about to enter the security checkpoint. She tried hard to hold back the tears that were about to fall out of her eyes, and waved to him vigorously. Asterisk. It took 3 hours to fly from Yun City to F City. With Mo Yesi's reminder, Chiao Mian put on a thin sweater before getting off the plane. When I got off the plane, I saw it was raining outside. The climate in F City is much lower than that in Cloud City. It rained again and the wind blew, making it chilly. Fortunately, Chiao Mian had a coat on, so she didn't feel too cold. But Nana, who was wearing a short-sleeved t-shirt, couldn't bear it. She curled up into a ball with her arms folded. Wow, it's so cold. Why is it raining here? It's so much colder than Yunchinj. She looked at Chiao Mian who was wearing a coat and asked curiously, Sister Mian, how do you know it's cold outside? After Chiao Mian got off the plane, she took out her mobile phone and dialed Mo Yesi's number. My boyfriend checked the weather here and asked me to wear an extra coat before getting off the plane. Nana was stunned for a few seconds, and then she almost cried with envy. Sister Mian, your boyfriend is so considerate. What kind of magical boyfriend is this? He is so enviable. With such a good boyfriend, career and other things must be put aside. If it were her, she would choose her boyfriend first and her career second. Chiao Mian called Mo Yesi's phone. After it rang several times, she finally got through. Baby, are you here? A familiar voice came from the receiver of the mobile phone, low and sultry, and the cry of baby was particularly endearing. A gust of wind blew. Chiao Mian pulled her coat tightly and followed the crowd on the airport shuttle bus. It's really cold here when we arrived. Fortunately, you reminded me that I wore a coat under the plane, so it wasn't so cold. It's getting late. When you get there, remember to have lunch, the man said with a hint of worry. Don't do anything without eating, do you hear me? Chiao Mian felt warm in her heart, and the corners of her lips could not help but raise. Yes, I understand. Mr. Mo, the meeting is about to start. Wei Zheng's voice came from the mobile phone. Chiao Mian was stunned for a moment. After realizing that Mo Yesi was busy, she immediately said, go to the meeting quickly. I will call you after I report to the crew later. Baby, I miss you. End of this chapter.